Hello everyone. In this video I want to show you how to enter trades that are a part of the options wheel strategy. I will not explain the wheel strategy as such, but when developing the options journal I wanted to integrate the possibility to filter trades linked to the wheel strategy for a specific stock and to create the possibility to separately filter out the data to analyze how the wheel strategies were going. So I'm really happy that I've integrated this because I know there are a lot of option traders out here who are executing wheel strategies. So let me show you how it is done in the journal. Let's take a look at the journal first, and more particularly to the trades of Mary. You can see that 3 trades are marked in this column as being part of a wheel strategy. Now, in order to keep these trades together that are part of one and the same wheel strategy, a wheel identifier has to be entered. This is a unique identifier grouping the wheel trades of one stock or one ticker together. You can see Mary has entered for her Pinterest wheel the wheel ID of pins 1. So let's take a closer look at Mary's account and her wheel trades. In the user profile data, we see that Mary's account is a cash account with a max account parameter set at 100% at account level and also at the position level. This option wheel example with Mary is a classic example where the wheel is executed from a cash account. In the accounts tab, we see that Mary had an initial capital of $15,000 that she has grown until $17,000 today. You can of course also work from a margin account for the wheel strategy, but for this demonstration we will work with the cash account of Mary. Mary is ready for the wheel and she has chosen Pinterest and she has reserved $7,500 as a cash backup for her wheel strategy. Because in the wheel strategy we will take on stocks if necessary and we may receive dividends and so on also, the wheel strategy dashboard is designed to be considered as a standalone situation dashboard. I have also included the possible actions in the journal to virtually deposit cash, receive dividend and withdraw cash linked to a specific wheel strategy ID in order to allow a good analysis on return of capital, a good analysis of the cash balance and the cash allocation. If you are new to the wheel strategy, I will advise you to read my article on the wheel strategy first. The links are in the comments below or is here also available on the spreadsheet. So here Mary started the wheel with a virtual cash deposit reserving $7,500 of her cash account to the Pinterest wheel strategy. You can see she selected deposit cash. She filled in the details of her account and you can see there was $7,500 of cash allocated to the Pinterest pins 01 wheel ID. There is completely, for the rest, no influence on parameters of the journal itself. There is no trade results here calculated when entering depositing cash. So she entered the action deposit cash on the 17th of July, and that is exactly the same date on which she started selling cash secured puts in Pinterest. The first one was sold on the 17th of July with a stock at 32. The strike price was 25 and with an expiration date the 18th of August. She received a premium of $1.25. And this option expired worthless, as you can see here, on the 18th after 32 days. On the same day of the expiration of her first cash secured put, she sold another one on the 18th of August with the stock at 33. The expiration was the 30th of August and she sold a 28 put for a premium of 95 cents. This option is still open for the rest of the day. You can see days till expiration is at 0, so this option will expire today. Now let us take a look to the situation on the dashboard. On the top left of the dashboard you need to select the wheel ID and the ticker for the stock that is concerned. You see that you can select only the wheel ID which are entered in the journal. So I will select pins 1. Once also pins is selected, the spreadsheet filters out the trades relevant to the wheel ID group. The dashboard and the transaction history is automatically updated, as you can see here. Let us take a look at the improved wheel strategy dashboard first. Let us start on the right-hand side of the dashboard. The options summary giving an overview for the options. the total opening credits received, the total closing debits, the realized options profit, the current quantity of the open options, and finally the unrealized options profit. And finally the unrealized profit loss of the open positions with the fees taken into account. A bit to the left, in yellow, we have the share summary, which is still empty now for a large part, because we don't have Pinterest stock yet for this wheel. Only the price of the stock is fetched and displayed. An important improvement for this all-in journal is that this dashboard will calculate the number of stocks held and, most importantly, the exact cost basis of these stocks if you would liquidate all shares and open positions immediately. This cost basis will also help us to determine the ideal strike price for selling new options. And a bit more to the left, a summary of the overall trade results with the number of wheels we are in the wheel trade, the realized net profit, the realized average daily profit, the realized return on capital, and the annualized return on capital. And finally, the overall unrealized net profit. And finally, the net result of the wheel. And on the left, the transaction summary about the cash situation and the allocations, with the total deposits, the dividends received, total withdrawals, the total cash allocation, the cash balance, and also finally the unallocated cash. So a quite extensive dashboard to have a great idea how you are doing with your wheel strategy. Now Mary has one open cash secured put that is about to expire. Now imagine that the stock of Pinterest is lower than 28. She will get assigned at expiration. Now getting assigned means the option expires worthless and Mary needs to fulfill her contract, her obligation to buy the stock at $28. This assignment is completely and automatically executed by the broker, and she sees in her broker's account that she has bought the 100 shares of Pinterest at $28, and she has been charged a fee of $15 for the transaction. Now Mary needs to enter this in the journal. So let me show you how this is done. So we return to the journal and we close the open position. So this was the open position, the cash secured put, line number 8. Row number 8, I will go to the closing part over here and I select the closing parameters. The buy to close action with the date of today, the 30th of August, and you can see the position gets closed. I still need to fill in the parameters which are marked in red fields. I do that now. The price of the underlying was 27.2, let's say. IVR 22. I had one option that I'm closing. The closing price is 0 because I got assigned, and also the closing fee is 0. And next she closes, of course, the status of this row. She selects here closed. Now the option is closed, but she still needs to enter the 100 trades that she has bought on a new row. So I will select buy shares. I will fill in different dates, 2 times today. I will select the account of Mary. Mary as a trader, the Pinterest ticker, and I must not forget I select pins ticker, and attention, I must mark that this trade is part of a wheel strategy, and I will enter the same wheel ID, and next I will mark that I have 100 shares, transaction price was $28, the total fees was 15. Now furthermore, the margin requirement for doing this transaction, for buying stock in a cash account, is 0. Now Mary can do the follow-up of her 100 shares in the current parameters. So this has to be open. The margin requirement to hold in the position is 0. And you can see here the unrealized profit loss is automatically calculated based on the actual share price. Let us take a look at the wheel dashboard and see what has changed. In the options summary, you can see the change with closing the second cash secured put. And in the stock summary, you can read now we have 100 shares, and also the cost basis of the 100 shares is calculated. I bought 100 stocks. I didn't sell any yet. I have no realized stock profit yet, and the unrealized stock profit is at minus 93. Our cost basis for these shares is now $25.99, being the price I have paid for the shares minus the credits received and the debits paid. So the next step in the wheel strategy is a covered call on these 100 shares to continue to lower my cost basis and collect more money. So Mary decides to sell a covered call 34 strike with expiration 15 September, and she collects a premium of 85 cents. So let's enter that into the journal. Sell to open, 30th of August, 2 times. Mary's account, Mary as a trader. It's a covered call. I have to select, of course, that it's part of the wheel with the same wheel identifier, Pinterest ticker. The share price was 27. Make a description of the strategy. It was a 34 covered call. Expiration date was set at 15 September. Strike price 34. One quantity, and I got a premium of 85 cents. Total fees, 2 in this case. Let's say IVR was at 18, is at -5, and the pop was like 66%. The margin requirement for a broker in this case was 0, and the position was open. So here again, I repeat the current price, and let's say that the current price fluctuated already a bit, 80 cents, and the current SPY beta delta was at -5, the same. So this means that now the covered call position is open, and if I go back to the dashboard, the changes are visible. The transaction is added. I have a new open current position in the options summary. The cost basis has been adapted, so you get the hang of it. That the trades that you enter for the wheel strategy, to mark them that they are part of the wheel strategy, enter the correct wheel ID so that the trade is filtered correctly in the correct group ID. So my suggestion to you is to try this out, play a little bit with the spreadsheet, fill in some trades, fill in the real trades that you have executed maybe in the past, and see how the dashboard results will fluctuate with them. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments or shoot me an email. I will be happy to help out where I can. If you want to see how I enter a couple of my real trades, don't hesitate to follow me here on YouTube, because I will show how I enter my real trades of the wheel strategy in the journal, and I will also explain a little bit in these videos how I will analyze the results here in the dashboard. So this is all for now, and I will see you in the next video.